Camille Pizarro was born on the island of St. Thomas. His father was of Portuguese Jewish descent and held French nationality. His mother was from a French Jewish family from the island of St. Thomas. He later studied and worked alongside Georges Seurat and Paul Signac when he took on Neo-Impressionist style at the age of 54. In 1873, he helped establish a collective society of 15 aspiring artists, becoming the pivotal figure in holding the group together and encouraging the other members. Art historian John Rewald called Pizarro the dean of the Impressionist painters, not only because he was the oldest of the group, but also by virtue of his wisdom and his balanced, kind, and warm-hearted personality. Paul Cézanne said, "He was a father for me, a man to consult and a little like the good Lord." And he was also one of Paul Gauguin's masters. Pierre Renoir referred to his work as revolutionary through his artistic portrayals of the common man, as Pizarro insisted on painting individuals in natural settings. Pizarro is the only artist to have shown his work at all 8 Paris Impressionist exhibitions from 1874 to 1886. He acted as a father figure not only to the Impressionists, but to all 4 of the major post-Impressionists: Cézanne, Seurat, Gauguin, and Van Gogh. Hey there, I'm Musik, and welcome to my studio. Hey, have you ever wondered how the old master artists painted? What was it that they were trying to portray through their art? Well, today I will be talking to you about, you guessed it, Camille Pizarro. So if you're ready, let's start. Now, please keep in mind that one of the canvases that I'm going to be using is this recycled canvas. It's a canvas panel, 8 by 10. And what I will be doing is just doing a tint of burnt umber over this canvas, and then do my sketch and ready to paint. So if you're ready, let's start. Well, that's that with yellow ochre. So I'm just going to let this dry for about 35 minutes to an hour. And then what I'll do is I'll come back and start sketching. Okay? All right. Okay, so now that I have my drawing on my canvas, I can go ahead and start blocking in the colors. So I can actually start anywhere, but to be more in control, I think I'm going to just focus on my dark areas. All right, so here we go. I'm using a little bit of black and cadmium red, and my brush strokes are very loose. And if you notice, I'm just applying and pulling. Okay, so very direct. The tint that I did on my canvas actually is really helping me out because I don't have to block every single area on the canvas. I can leave a lot of the canvas showing through, as you could see right there. I'm also using liquid. I know he didn't, but because I'm pressed for time, I can actually use the liquid to try to speed up the drawing process. So just being very precise and trying to hold on to my dark sunlight within this area. So if you notice this part of the skirt, it's a little dark, so I'm going to use black. And just apply the black. Okay. It's more like a elongated brush stroke like this. If you notice, you can hold the brush from like so, and use this point right there of the brush and just pull down. Okay, let's use just a little bit of cadmium yellow. Okay, so first layer of paint pretty much done. So now let's start with the upper portion of the image. Okay, so Prussian blue, cad yellow light, and the liquid and titanium white is what I'm using. So if you notice, I've just blocked that in. And now I can use just titanium white to start lightening up. Okay, right there. All right, and then the back as well. Trying to hold on to my values. It's very important so that your image doesn't look flat, right? Well, this is pretty much the first layer of paint. I do want to come back and just refine and build up the paint with brush strokes. So so please keep that in mind. In my brush stroke, it's not like I'm not pulling at all. I'm actually just dabbing like this, right? Because I want to create that texturized, blurry feel. It's almost like pixelized. Okay, so real quick, just block this in. Okay. Now I'm using, again, ultramarine blue with titanium white, like that, and just trying to hold on to my folds. Okay, just let's bring a little bit of that here. So now let's start with the brown hues. So right there. This brown has a little bit more red in it, so I'm just going to emphasize that. So while I have the dark, I just want to distribute that into the skirt just so I can hold on to its darks and lights, because it was looking a little bit too flat, and same thing here. Okay, so let's not forget the hat. So what else can we do now? Let's go with the upper portion of her dress. Okay, so I took cadmium red with the brown and titanium white. So it's giving me this dirty pink hue. And what I am going to do in a few minutes is to come back and put some highlights on these areas. A little bit of this ultramarine blue goes right there. Okay, so more titanium white. Okay, so it's pretty direct, isn't it? It's straightforward. And my colors are pretty straightforward as well. So again, I'm just using with the palette that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so right there. Let's just block this in. So I'm trying to get it really close, but maybe in my next sitting I can come back and just adjust a lot of the colors that need adjustment. But right now I think this is more than enough. Okay. And then let's try to finish this off here. Like that. Some darks right there. So again, while this dries, I'm just going to use a larger brush and just start defining the back. And I'm not going to copy that exactly because my main subject matter are these three people here. So what I'll do is I'll just keep the background very loose. Okay, so I think I'm going to just leave this alone so it dries. Okay, so as you can see, it's all small brush strokes, doing a lot of changing in the tones and focusing on the tonal changes. So like, for example, this area is a little bit lighter. It's very relaxing. You know, his technique, it's there's really not that much to it in just regards to making the colors and just very loosely with your brush, just go up and down and lay it on the canvas, right? And holding on to your darks and lights also. This is pretty fun, I tell you. Especially you don't have to worry about a lot of detail. Just make the colors and apply it on the canvas like this. Okay, and this area is fairly light, so okay, right there. Okay, so as far as the different blues, you know, he has ultramarine blue, and also he's using most probably phthalo. So I could tell that as he's mixing the colors, it's just not with one blue. It's not one blue that he's using, you know, he's using multiple types of blues. Like, for example, like this area here is ultramarine blue. Right there, at least from the print that I'm looking at. And also here. Okay, so right there. Similar colors here. Okay, so like right there. Right there. It's very interesting where he's just dabbing all the colors. I mean, I don't know how much more I could say about his method. It's pretty much all straightforward. So I'm glad that you're watching me just have fun right now. But it's really easy. Once you have a nice drawing, you know, you're able to just make the colors and apply it on the canvas like the way I am showing you. Now, I think there's a number of things that Pizarro, if you wanted to paint like Pizarro, that you have to focus on. Number one, his use of colors, of course, and number two, mostly his brush strokes, right? Like, you can have different paintings done using different colors, but if the brush strokes are not there, then it's not going to look like the artist that you're trying to paint like. So it's important to just focus on brush strokes more than anything else. And as far as color, you know, every painting has its own use of colors, so I wouldn't really put too much attention on that. But more than anything, I would probably just put a lot of attention on how he's applying his brush strokes. Okay, so that's important. And also, trying to hold on to where he's done dark, like right there. Okay, and here, a little bit here. Okay, and here. Okay. So now that we have done that, let's work on these bottom portions. Okay, so we're gonna start with here. Just break that apart a little bit. And just bring this here, like that. And this is dark, right there. Okay. And then let's use cadmium red for this area. Just break this apart. Okay. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of blue, ultramarine blue, and just kind of work that in as well. mostly right there. Okay. All right, so let's now work on the scarf. Just put these changes here. Right there, some dark tones. So let's put these changes. Some highlights there. So, there's the eye. Okay, and then let's just bring a little bit of detail here on the hat. There. Okay, and now let's do one of the final things with a small brush. See, I can come in and just detail this quite a bit. Okay, so it's mostly like that. Okay. There. Okay, here. Darken here a little bit. Right there and right there. Okay. So now I want to do something with the background. Okay, so let's just take this and just kind of like simplify. Okay, I don't want to get caught up with a lot of the details of the background. Okay, I just want to keep things simple because the purpose is not the background, more or less the image is that that we worked on. So right there. Okay. All right, so let's just add that. A little bit there, and let's put some changes back there. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So I think so let's just bring this and okay, so let's just quickly put some dark tones very loosely, but I think you got the drifts of it. So I think I'm gonna call it done. All right. Well, guys, that's all the time that we have. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint in the style of Pizarro. I know I had a lot of fun, and happy painting. Till next time. Bye.